Why hello everyone, Spencer here, also known as Screen Speak, and in today's video, this is my Daredevil Born Again Season 1 spoiler review, so without further ado, let's discuss. By the way, the theme, like the music in the show, the original Daredevil theme, that I don't know who did the original theme, but it's updated by the Newton brothers, and they did the music for this show. Oh man, who they did X-Men '97, and they did the theme, like the music from Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I love that main theme from Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I thought the first one was mid. I'm excited for the next one, but the music from this rocks. So I love this. I'm so glad they do. I can't wait to see what they do next for Marvel and other things, but this was a great rendition of a new Daredevil theme, so loved it a lot. Alrighty, so this show, I have talked about Daredevil and the Defenders on my channel before. I made a TV vlog, man, back in those days. Back in my day when I used to do this, I used to just record my TV, and I feel like that's so weird now. I'm trying to do something differently with my channel. You know I rebranded my channel, but I'm trying to do something differently with my vlogs here on my channel. Like, I enjoy doing vlogs and out of the theater vlog. You know, I'm getting on a tangent in my own video, but that's fun. But anyway, I made a video talking about, maybe I should do a thing like that. Talk about it, but god dang it. So I've talked about Daredevil here on the channel before. And so I love Daredevil, the show on Netflix. And Jessica Jones, I had a decent time with. David Tennant just sells that show for me. And I never watched Luke Cage or Iron Fist. And people said the Defenders show just was kind of eh. They're on Disney Plus now, and great. Like, they came out like last year, or maybe a couple years ago. And now we have Daredevil Born Again. This is a 9-episode season. I can't remember. I want to say that maybe it was like 13 episodes each was the Netflix show, and this was going to be 18 episode season. And Kevin Feige looked at it and went, well, Daredevil doesn't suit up till episode 4, and that doesn't make any sense. So we're going to rewrite this whole thing, and people are going to be mad about that. And Karen and Foggy weren't going to be in this show at all. And so they made the selling point of this show, they made the, gripping point, like Daredevil's suited up, has to go take out Poindexter, Bullseye. So he's gone, or he goes to fight him, and Foggy gets killed. And that's the anchor point where Daredevil is gone, for 5 years. They kind of do a Endgame thing, 5 years later. Or, not 5 years. 1 year later, just a time skip, 1 year later. And so, that's why we don't see Daredevil as Daredevil, Matt Murdock, Daredevil, in the suit for the next 4 episodes. And that's neither good or bad. I'm trying to recall if there were episodes from the Daredevil show or the Netflix show where he wasn't in his outfit. Maybe they just did that. But this is Daredevil Born Again, and he had to become born again. And in my opinion, that worked for the narrative of the show. For other people, they probably were just wanting Daredevil action, and I completely understand that. But from my point of view, and hearing other people, it makes a lot of sense from the narrative of the show. And going forward in next season, I know the show is still called Born Again. I'm expecting more of the action to just happen at a brisk pace. Now, that said, what actually does happen? So, like I said, Poindexter, Bullseye, kills Foggy. Matt Murdock, Daredevil, throws him on the ground, and he's in jail. Not Matt, Bullseye. And for good reason. And there's like I said, the next 4 episodes deal with the court of Hector Alala, Hector Alala, however to pronounce his last name. I probably butchered it. I'm sorry. Who is the White Tiger, and his niece. I believe it's niece. Not. I was trying to think if it was daughter, stepdaughter, or niece. One of those. I think it's niece because she's the he's the uncle of her. And that I'm wondering if in season 2 she becomes White Tiger, because in the comics White Tiger is a female, a girl. So I don't know, but he's there. White Tiger was cool to see him doing a little bit of action, but I want to see more of White Tiger's character in the MCU. So that'd be great. As well, so there's a little court hearing about that, and then there's a bank robbery in episode 5 or 6. Actually, let's check real quick. That's that one. Punisher shows up in episode 4, so we get that one. And then episode 5 is the bank heist episode, and with the dad of Miss Marvel, and he's like, my daughter's Miss Marvel, you should come have dinner with us. And he has like a little customized Funko Pop of Miss Marvel, which was really cool. So I love that episode. People were like, it's filler. I'm like, it's cool to see Miss Marvel's dad in here and all this kind of stuff. So I just enjoy seeing those types of things in Daredevil, and so that's fun. But that's solid stuff for me. And like all the action, like the bank robbery was great. And the next couple episodes was like the niece, who I think is going to become White Tiger. She gets kidnapped by Muse, who's been this villain who they teased in the trailer, and that this was under one of the new show writers who, Kevin Feige was like, well, Daredevil's not in this show, but we're just going to make it about Muse. And this is where Muse kidnaps. He's basically like making portraits of Kingpin. And Kingpin's in this, by the way, and he's great. Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is great. And Mayor Fisk, he's the mayor now, and Daredevil, their Muse has been making blood portraits, graffiti images on the walls. And Kingpin's like, who's doing this? What's happening? And Daredevil goes to find him because Muse has kidnapped the White Tiger niece, so he has to go after him to stop, and that's when Daredevil becomes born again. So I loved just the ramp up of the show as he becomes Daredevil again, and like the episode after he's fighting Muse in episode 6, and episode 7 they kill Muse in like such a brutal way, because there's like a therapist, and Muse is played by the actor who played Tyler in the Wednesday show, and I'm like, wait, I know that guy. Who is that? I'm like, oh my god, it's Tyler. Looked it up. Sure enough, it was Tyler from Wednesday, and they kill Muse, and I really think it worked because they had Daredevil fight Muse in a great way in episode 6, and they have this nice resolution in episode 7, and I just thought that it worked for the narrative because those showrunners are done. Now they're bringing in the old showrunner from the Netflix show to say, hey, this is where we would continue with the show. So Muse is done in episode 7, and in episode 8 they bring Bullseye back, Poindexter, and he's escapes from jail by using a tooth, spitting it at someone, and just his excellent marksman skills, just boom, boom, killing everyone, and then escapes jail, goes to a party where Daredevil, Matt Murdock, and Kingpin are at, and his wife Vanessa. And Vanessa is the one that put a hit on Foggy that told Poindexter, Bullseye, to go kill Foggy, which we get revealed in episode. Well, they tell us that in episode 8, but then we get the flashback in episode 9 in the finale, penultimate episode 8, where Poindexter escapes from jail. Bullseye goes and has a gun, goes to the party, and he goes and tries to shoot Kingpin because he's the mayor, but Daredevil jumps in the way and saves Kingpin's life. So there might be a little bit more chemistry between Kingpin and Daredevil now and next season, and at the end of the season, then in the finale, Kingpin and Vanessa are having dinner together, so they have made up in this sort of way, and I forget what happens to Bullseye, actually. I think he gets thrown back. He's in a cage. He's in a cage, as well as Punisher. By the way, this finale is awesome. There's just all-out action with Punisher and Daredevil, and Daredevil is laying in bed, but then he gets back up, goes with Punisher. There's some action throughout. There's a whole bunch of officers in Punisher outfits. Punisher gets thrown in a cage. He's with Kingpin. By the way, Swordsman is in this show. The Swordsman guy from Hawkeye. He's in here. He's in a cage as well in the finale. But Daredevil wants to go take down Kingpin. So with that said, he has to go get an army. He goes to the bar where he was at where Foggy died, and called Josie's. And all his law firm is there with Karen, because Karen shows back up. So they team up, and she might have a little thing for Punisher. Karen might have a little thing for Punisher. Might have a little thing for Daredevil. We don't know what's happening with that yet. And I also get the reference avocados at law, because I've always heard it and I've always said it. Like, what does that mean? Abogados is Spanish for lawyer. So that's where, and he's like, Foggy was drunk one night, so he just said avocados at law. Now I understand what that means, guys. I'm so happy for myself. But the series ends with them, Daredevil showing up at his law firm. Well, his law firm's at the bar, and he's just standing there. That's how it ends. And credit scene is Punisher's in one of the cages by Kingpin, and he has one of the stupid people. Well, not stupid. One of these guys that apparently is so stupid to walk over to the cage, and Punisher's just like rip his arm down, and try to get the keys from this guy. I assume he's gonna get the keys and get out of that cage. But I love this show. I love this season mostly because of how they did Muse. Like, yes, it was kind of strange to just have a villain go, villain gone, and then bring in Bullseye again. Now, but it worked for the merits of the show, like, to get Daredevil born again. Okay, Muse is gone. Now bring in Poindexter, Bullseye again. Resume this old story, right? I think this works perfectly. And now you can have the relationship between Kingpin and Daredevil. By the way, there's a moment in the finale where Kingpin's just squashing the governor's head, and it is the most brutal thing ever on Disney Plus. Way more brutal than that Falcon and Winter Soldier scene where the shield's on that guy's head. Way more brutal than that. And I honestly thought it was the most brutal thing ever in Daredevil. Like, I was watching some reviews, reviews and reactions, and they're like, this is the most brutal thing I've ever seen, ever in Daredevil. Not like in movie history, not like in cinema history, just in Daredevil. And I'm like, yeah, I thought so too. So that's just me. Let me know what you thought. Was this brutal? Did you like the finale? Were you like, oh yeah, Daredevil, like this season started strong, or like why did they kill Foggy type of thing, and like what was this season about? And then now I thought it was really good. Like, it just kind of meandered until it was born again, and now it ended very strong. Did you just not care at all? I thought it was really good. I think this is worthy of an A cinema score, or like an A+, like an A score. I can see how some people think it did meander, but as much as other Disney Plus shows like Echo, this was very mature. Echo really disappointed me. This is not Secret Invasion. This is not Echo. This is not Ahsoka. This is not, and yes, I'm comparing it to Star Wars shows. This is not Acolyte. This is way better. Like, I don't even know why Acolyte couldn't be more like this storytelling and mature-wise, but at the end of the day, disappointing. But this was great. This was not disappointing. And also, Agatha, I had a great time with Agatha, but this is way better than Agatha. So, let me know if you've seen Daredevil Born Again. I give it an A+ rating. Definitely 9 out of 10 for me. I think because of the little tiny meandering and not a lot of Daredevil, it could be a 9 out of 10. But definitely a solid 9. So with that said, guys, don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy the review. Let me know if you've seen the show and if you plan on seeing it. If you haven't finished it yet, please go finish it right now. What are you doing? Why are you watching this review? Go finish the show. So I'm confused. But just go do it. Go do it. It's worth the time. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me where you can on social media today. And Screen Speaks Today is my Instagram name. Be sure to follow me where you can. And as always, don't forget to keep calm, watch the screen. Peace out, everyone. Bye.